So today we will be going about a theory about Izuku Midoriya. What if Izuku Midoriya... So if Izuku Midoriya had a brother, we would need to know how old his brother is. So we're going to go with twins. Kind of like the Todoroki Yomo ship. Todoroki has two boys, but they have red hair and white hair. So we're going to go with that. So in the beginning of the we see Izuku and his are together. They both want to be the number one hero. But Izuku wants to be the number one hero more. So we're going to give this twin brother a anonymous name. So we're going to give him a name like Mike. So Mike Midoriya wants to be not like a hero, like his brother, like Izuku. He wants to be more of a, let's say, a normal person. He doesn't like it how he can have this special ability that tells him what to do or what he can be. So they find out that they were Izuku's twin brother Mike has a quirk, but Izuku doesn't. So the quirk doctor would go, this is extremely rare that Izuku wouldn't have a quirk. So his brother's quirk is just his father's quirk, but with more of a kick. So he's able to control it with his hands and move fire around with his hands. So Izuku is a quirkless kid, so he's going to be teased and all that. But Izuku will examine his brother's quirk, like he does with everyone other's quirk. He did it with All Might's. He didn't figure out what All Might's quirk was, but the same story would go on. Izuku gets bullied, but his brother would not even help him. His brother hated this power he has, so he never used it. So when Izuku would get bullied, he'd never see it. He'd walk away if he did, because he doesn't want to use it against Bakugo. He doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to ruin his reputation of being this nice kid who has a quirk who doesn't like using it. But when Bakugo tells his brother Izuku to take a swan dive off the top of the building, in the canon he doesn't follow those advice. But in this, he does. Izuku Midoriya jumps off the building and lives. His brother finds him laying dead on the ground, severely injured, knowing what happened. There's no way he would be this badly injured. He didn't know that Bakugo had told him to take a swan dive off the building, but kind of went, okay, he went to commit suicide. So he calls the ambulance, everything all about that. When they get there, they find out that Izuku's body is not working correctly. They find out that his internal organs are extremely hot, normally than the average human body, where they should be at room temperature. They find out that Izuku is actually his quirk doesn't need another joint, needs another joint as his toe, or it wouldn't work. We're going to make this quirk kind of like his brother's quirk. This quirk only activates when Izuku feels extreme anger, but he can control it. So if he gets into UA like that, They find out, and now his brother Mike is so happy that his little brother ain't quirkless. But then he finds out that anytime Izuku uses the quirk, it will burn his skin off. And his mother and father don't have it. His father has a fire quirk, yes, it's in his throat. He has breathing fire. This is a extreme mutation of the quirk. So anytime Izuku will activate it, it will burn his skin off and make him kind of look like a Ghost Rider. But the quirk ain't called Ghost Rider. It's called Ghost Flames. Because when he activates it, he's extremely angry. And in the TV show, you see him never get angry. So, he would never have known this if he had just gotten angry. If he had gotten angry instead of sad, doctor saying, that's impossible. He has a quirk, and he got mad, he would have activated his quirk. But this quirk is also extremely dangerous. It has the abilities of Ghost Rider. So it's basically a Ghost Rider quirk, but it ain't. It's called Ghost Flames. So basically control vehicles, make them into like the Ghost Rider vehicles, and all that. He can make people see the sin of their crimes. He can make their eyes do what it does in the Ghost Rider movie. So, what does this mean for Izuku? Izuku will never use his quirk, figuring out that he'll have to be extremely angry. So he'd have to kind of turn into another Bakugo. But they find out that Izuku could find a way to control his quirk without having to get angry at all. So, what is the other alternative to activating his quirk? Well, his brother. His brother is the only one who can technically activate Izuku's quirk. But his brother vowed never to use his quirk, except when it manifested. Because when it manifested, it showed signs of manifesting, like when his hands heated up, he breathed the fire. So he used it once, but after that day, he vowed never to use it. But he knows how much Izuku wants to be a hero. So he says no. He'll have to learn the hard way. And Izuku gets extremely angry at his brother. So angry that he'd activate his quirk. Even though he didn't cause the bullying, he made him look into his eyes. Izuku had made Mike look into his eyes, seeing the sin of his past. The sin of his past was not stopping Bakugo. As gruesome as it is, yes, he basically would hurt his brother to an extreme account, to where his brother would use his quirk against him. So, Izuku and his brother have a giant fight, and they find out that Izuku, when he activated it, all the injuries that he had were healed as soon as it was deactivated. They literally had to call a pro hero to stop the fight, since they had two powerful quirks. Inko tried to break it up, but Inko couldn't. She couldn't get through Izuku. And by the time one of her son's eyes were already bugged. But they found out that the eye wasn't damaged, it was just cauterized. It went away after Izuku would stop getting angry. Even though Izuku hurt his brother, he still wanted to be a hero. And when he was out of his anger state, Pro Hero said he couldn't be a hero. Pro Eraserhead said he his quirk is too dangerous. He's a villain. He'd just become a villain target to make him a villain. So they say he'd never be able to be a hero. But Izuku's quirk had now been fully activated. His brother had also activated it too. So Izuku can now control his activations. Izuku activates his quirk, while Eraserhead is still erasing it. And Eraser finds out that his quirk is out racing it. The heat of his body is out blanking his quirk. So Eraser is going, this kid's so strong, his quirk can't be erased. So he tries to do it on his brother, but Izuku jumps in the way of blocking it. Even though he's hurt his brother, he still loves him. He doesn't want anything bad to happen to him. The only reason he couldn't see that he was hurting his brother was because he couldn't tell it was his brother. He was angry at him, and the quirk uses anger. But since he had also activated his fire quirk, Izuku can now control when he activates it, because it didn't have that. His brother's quirk was kind of like the activation, but now that is how Izuku would activate his quirk. We will get into the Yue and Uraraka and Tanya and Todoroki in the next video. See you guys then, and have a great day.